Hi friends, I'm Monique and I'm back with a new layout today, and it's a special one because we are celebrating Joanne Bartell reaching 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Congratulations, Joanne! We are joining her for a fun YouTube hop celebrating, and I'm scrap lifting this gorgeous layout of hers. So if you are new to my channel, welcome and thank you for joining me today. So today I'm using two lovely collections. I've got some pretty pattern papers from Paige Evans' new Splendid collection, and I'm starting off with this lovely denim look piece of paper, and I just love it. As soon as I saw it, I just knew that I needed lots of sheets of it, and I've been looking for a denim pattern paper for the longest time, so it's perfect. And this pattern paper with the gorgeous kind of like textured rainbow stripes on the back and these lovely black and white florals, had to get a couple sheets, one for the rainbow on the back and the other so that I could fussy cut all the flowers, which I have done, and I just love them, and I really like black and white florals when they are contrasted against bright colors, so I'm going to do a bit of that today. So I am scrap lifting Joanne's lovely layout, and I've gone for a similar angle with the diagonally cut piece of pattern paper, which I've just torn, and then I'm coming in with all these fussy cut florals just to kind of embellish around the photo. I've also used a sheet of Vicky Bouton's Sweet Rush collection, and it's those beautiful colourful florals, and I think these two collections, the Splendid by Paige Evans and Sweet Rush by Vicky Bouton, just complement each other so nicely and work together really well. So I'm going to be mixing those two together. So I've put my florals around my photo, and I just felt like it needed something at the top of the page, so I've kind of continued on like a bit of a diagonal there and put some florals at the top as well. And then I decided that I want something different in the background. I had planned to do some stenciling, but I've got this piece of cloud patterned paper. I can't remember which collection it's from, but it's another pattern paper that I absolutely love, and this is my last sheet of it, and I love the real look of it, along with the whimsy of these flowers and pretty butterflies. And I know the blue in the sky and the blue in the denim don't match and that would normally bug me, but for some reason on this page I like the contrast of those two together. So I really just fiddle for ages here, just finding the right sequence of flowers and testing out different floral clusters. And so as you see, I end up taking away most of the black and white flowers and then adding in lots of colourful flowers, and then adding back in the black and white flowers. So and I'm happier with how that looks. I really did feel like the page needed that pop of colour that those bright flowers add. So I'm just going to fiddle and faff for quite a while, just finding the right positioning, and obviously it'll all change again when I take everything off to stick it all down. Now I've got this piece of pattern paper also from Vicky Bouton's Sweet Rush collection, and it's got these lovely little tags, and this isn't in Joanne's original layout, but I'm just adding some extra because that's usually what I do. I start off with a scrap lift or a sketch and then I go off course a little bit, but that's okay. So I love these little tags. They add another pop of bright colour, and I love the little sentiments that are on here, and I think they work quite nicely with the photos and just help to frame them a little bit. I'm not going to add any little bows to the little hole there, I'm just leaving it as is. Now I've also got these gorgeous heart paper clips from Paige Evans' new collection, and I just wanted to add that in because I just think they're so gorgeous. And along with this beautiful sheet of pattern paper, I'm loving all the fabric look pattern papers in the Splendid collection. So there's lots of beautiful visual texture, and I love that ombre pink. So I'm just backing the photo first with some white tissue paper and then sticking it onto that sheet of pink pattern paper. It's kind of slap bang in the middle there, but I want a little bit of the light but not too much, and a little bit of the dark pink, and then I'm just distressing the edges with my scissors just to add in a little bit of extra texture. I'm going to do the same with my tags, and then I always have the same problem when I build a layout, is I add all the things to the page and then I need to go and backtrack and kind of stick everything down, and it's always a little bit daunting when you've got so many elements on the page. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to work backwards from the photo and try build up that cluster, get everything that I can stuck onto the photo, and then kind of work backwards a little bit. So I've stuck these on quite straight, but I do come in later and pull them apart and make it a little bit wonky. And I've also got this lovely little ephemera tab that is in the Sweet Rush collection, and I like the little addition of the blue and green that brings as well, and it's the perfect little sentiment too. I celebrated a birthday recently, and this photo is from a walk I took with my hubby and my kids in the afternoon, and we always have a great time together when we go for a walk. So my kids like to have races, and yeah, we end up having lots of fun. So that photo captured the moment perfectly. So I've just stuck that denim paper onto the background, and now I'm just going to raise my photo up just using some craft foam and my tape runner. And I'm finally getting some things stuck down. So I do spend another little moment getting all the bits and pieces, all the florals back in place, and I do whiz through most of it shortly, and then it's going to be time to get it all stuck down. As is always the case, when I do kind of reposition things after when I'm starting to glue things down, invariably the placement is slightly different, but that's okay. I like the version that I end up with in the end, so it all works out. I've not used a silicone adhesive on a layout in a while, and I do love using it, especially for lots of fussy cut florals if I want to add lots of dimension. So it's really great for being able to tilt the things that you stick down, and I love using it in cases like this where there's lots of flowers clustered together, and you can give really nice dimension and variation in the heights. So I'm just going along and sticking everything down. Just be warned, if you use silicone glue, it's wet and it's messy, and it does take a while to dry, so I usually leave it overnight to properly dry. And if you go and squish your page, or if you press down on it, you will squelch glue everywhere. So yeah, just be careful when you use it, but I always feel like the results are worth it in the end, and the dimension that I get. I really do love the dimension that it adds to a page. So I've got these lovely little butterflies. These are also from the Sweet Rush collection, and I'm just sticking them down in 3 different sizes. So I've got one on the left of the photo, one there on the right, and then one little one with that floral cluster at the top. Now I'm just about done, but my page wouldn't be finished without a little bit of sparkle. So I've got these 2 stickles, one in like an iridescent and one in a lovely yellow, and I'm just adding some little dots of it to the center of some of the flowers, just to add a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of extra interest and texture to the page. That's really quite subtle, but just adds a little bit of something extra to the page. Now, I've also been having a little think about my title and what I want to say, and there are some lovely pieces in the epoxy stickers that come in Paige Evans' Splendid collection. So I'm going to be using some of those bits and pieces. So here's the sticker sheet, and I love that like gold piece that says so much, and then I want to use the pieces that say love. But when I stick it on the page, I feel like the colours, as much as I love them, they just don't stand out enough against the back, and it just adds a little bit of extra busyness, which I feel needs to be simplified a little bit. So I've just gone for these paler pink thickers, which work, I think, better and complement the rest of the page nicely. And then I use 3 of the cute little gold stars and just add those to the end of the title and 2 of the other clusters as well. Now I want to add a little bit of something to each of those butterflies. So I've got these lovely little black gems from Little Things by Lucy's cards, and I am just adding them in various sizes from biggest to smallest down the center of each of those butterflies. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my video today is part of a lovely YouTube hop celebrating Joanne reaching 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So there are lots of talented, creative people taking part, and I'll link them up all for you below. Please do pop along and see what they've got in store for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can also find me on Instagram at HandmadeHappy by Monique. I really hope that something you've seen today has inspired a new idea for you, and that you get to enjoy being creative too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!